I'm sad, but at the end, we are going to learn. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Perry and this is Pika Media. If today is your first time seeing me on your screen, I'll not be a stranger to you. As I said, the purpose of this platform is to educate the general public on some of the things that I have learned working as an Uber driver, boat driver, and a Yango driver as well. The other day, I talked about some of the strategies that the riders and also the driver used to sleep with some of the ladies and also the guys in the car. But little did I know that people have confession to make. I was shocked when one person just came into my DM and said that I have a confession to make, but I want to keep my identity. I said, okay. We first had a talk, but he said because he wants to be still married and he doesn't want to get divorced. Because in quote, he said, if my wife is to hear about my confession, she might divorce me. So I want you to present my case to the general public in the form of writing. So he sent a message. So without wasting my time, viewers, let's just dive deep into the message he sent. And I read, let's go. Good evening, Pika Media. I came across your video about you educating and informing others about your experience you had whilst working as an online driver. In order for my wife not to divorce me, I would like to present my case to you in a form of writing. This is something that I wanted to take to my grave without telling anybody, but it is very unfortunate that I have to say it. There was this embarrassment I faced about a year ago that made me stop driving as an Uber driver and even made me relocate to the Eastern region. Please, for now, let me keep my identity from my viewers, but you can use the name Kofi for now. I picked a lady from East Legon, Lagos Avenue to Hacho. It was around 5 a.m. that day. She seemed very friendly and nice to be with. But little did I know that she was a profession of Delilah using technology. I cry with terms. We had a good chat, and not to exaggerate, she was very beautiful and fun to be with. The duration of the journey was just 15 minutes. Fast forward, when we got to her destination, she nicely asked me to wait for her to go and get me the money from the room, since she's not having much on her. Was patiently waiting in the car when she came to tell me that her friends were not back, so she couldn't get into the room to get me the money. Was a bit pissed off within, since it is normally the national anthem of some of the people who doesn't want to pay. But as a gentleman, I didn't show it for her to see. She then called a friend she was staying with in my presence and told her that she's even on her way and it will take her about 15 minutes. In quote, the phone was on loudspeaker. Okay. She suggested I wait since the friend is about to get home. Whilst we were waiting in the car, we were talking and suddenly the topic changed. She was telling me how handsome I was. To make a long story short, the conversation leads from one to another. Before I realized, we started talking about sex, which she was not even shy as a lady. But not knowing it was a trap she was setting for me. The conversation got deeper and the statement she made was that I could even kiss you in the car and thought it was a joke. But before I realized, lips started touching lips. My brother, deep within me, I loved what she was doing, but was shocked that she first made the move. Okay. She first made the move. I could not control myself as I was already in the mood. So she suggests we move to the small porch, which we did. Fast forward, after everything, she then suddenly changed her attitude towards me. She then said, and I quote, "If I sleep with someone, I take 400 cedis. Yesu." Was funny at first hearing her talk about it was funny at first hearing her talk, not knowing she meant business. This lady that was very nice to me started shouting at me. She even asked me to deduct my my 400 cedis TNT from it and then give her the balance. I thought it was a joke, but not knowing, boys were hiding in the other room ready to beat me if I was not ready to pay. Not knowing all this was a trap she set for me. Due to lack of self-control, I fell victim. My guy, what I went through that day, my mouth can't even explain. In fact, was bullied that day. When the guys came out, the embarrassment was too much, so I had no option but to pay. After the payment, then she said, next time, if you see free thing, run. Oh. I later got to know that this is what she mostly does to drivers when she had a bad night as a prostitute. It is today that it might sound funny to you, but it was not funny to me then. So want to urge all online drivers to be careful. Some of these ladies are walking trap. I want all drivers to learn from my mistake so they don't go through. Was foolish and naive, but now I know better. Thanks for the platform to share my bitter experience. Wow. Okay, let's dive into it. Let me tell you something. In this life that we are living now, we just take certain things for granted. For example, if your brother or your sister tells you that I've been attacked by an armed robbers, and he tells you the story, he or she tells you the story, the only thing you can do is to sympathize with them. But what they felt that time, you cannot feel it. So look, let me tell you, I can sympathize with this guy, but what he felt that day and the embarrassment and everything, I cannot feel it for him. But do you know one thing I've realized? No, say, look, I said at the boni bia you try to do. Look, example hodada. Go and look. Go and check. You see, upon the story we obe kanu, obi betio, and he'll find himself or herself in that situation. But instead of us to apply what we've learned, or see there be that. Look, let me tell you, in this world, sometimes they said experience is the best teacher. Like when you go through that thing, sometimes you don't have to go through that thing to learn wisdom from it, or you don't have to go through something in order to gain experience. For example, I will not, God forbid, say I will, and God should help me that I will start smoking, because I already know the end product. So drivers, let's be careful out there, and riders to be careful. I'm not saying that this thing, this thing will come your way, but you see, let's look at what others are saying in order to advise ourselves. It's not easy. I have faced some, but by the grace of God, I've been able to overcome them. Maybe it might not be my strength, or be soon the weakness, but please and please, some of these ladies and some of these guys that we meet, that suddenly not omudi winning to your name is a trap. I've been saying it. Kofi went through it and he was able to. Maybe you might go through it and you not come back alive. So let's be careful. Lagos Avenue Ankasa, a honomo a standard that prostitute stand and omudi omunyama. And temperature when you are picking a lady from that side, ana Kofi then you pick a lady from a prostitute stand honomo side or coffee, and she's trying to make advances towards you. That alone should tell you the kind of person. I would say, when I was talking to this guy, the guy, when I was having a conversation with this guy, the guy look, he said, my brother, what I went through that day, to the extent of even relocating. I was sending voice message, but I was also sending irribiti. But I'm telling you, say, look, one day you have to muster the courage and tell your wife that this is what I did, and she'll forgive you. So please and please, let's be vigilant. Let's be vigilant. Many things are going on, and I'm saying that sex has never been accepted as a currency. Since your core government institution, every sector, sex has not become an easy way, like an escape route, which shouldn't be so. You see, I think it's not easy. Let me not talk much. My name is Ruben Perry, and if you are new to the channel, this is Become Media. Other drivers that will be coming on board, I'll be putting a number. Just give me a call. If you want to share a story, you can send me a message on the social media platform that our content are available, and I'll get in touch.